Hi, readers, welcome back. This is the book that I read last week, which is called The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest by Stieg Larsson. This is the third book in the series, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which is a continuation. So you need to read it in the series to understand the whole story because there's a lot of references to the first part. Unfortunately, I read the very first part like many years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, so I don't really remember that story very well. But when I read the second story, which was more recent, I had a little difficulty remembering the characters and the story itself. So it took me a while to figure out and find my momentum. But the third book I read much sooner after the second book, so I remember the story very well and I remember the characters pretty well. And then I also figured out that there are a few more books in the series written by different authors because I guess Stieg Larsson's no more. So the other authors are carrying on with the same story, and I'm going to read those as well. But for now, let me talk about this book, which is I absolutely enjoyed myself, mainly for the reason because there is a whole lot of courtroom drama in this. And I guess because John Grisham is one of my favorite authors, and the way he writes courtroom drama is so much fun. This courtroom story was also just as much fun. I loved reading that court part because it's always something unexpected at a courtroom. So I enjoy that. The entire story was a little draggy. Things were just going on, and it would have been short, I believe, but the courtroom part was fun. Again, that could have been reduced as well. So I feel the story was a little long. It shouldn't have been that long. It could have been much shorter, but I still enjoyed myself. I got a little bored, but it was not one of those books where I got so bored that I had to put it away. The book was interesting enough that it kept me hooked, and I wanted to come back and read it. I decided to quit watching any series during this period and just focus on reading because the book was that interesting. So, good book. You should read it. You should read it in the order it's written, starting with the girl with the dragon tattoo, and then I'm sorry, I forget the name of the second book. Maybe it's in here. So this book has been translated from Swedish to English. Nope. Ah, there. Okay, so the first book is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. The second one is The Girl that who played with fire, and then this is the third one, which is The Girl who kicked the hornet's nest. Hornet's nest. Interesting series, and then there are more books from the same series. I think the next one is something to do with spider's web, the girl in the spider's web, something like that. I don't remember, but about there are 6 more books in the series written by different authors. So I don't know the details of those books or the authors, but this one is by the original author, and these 3 books are the original books in the series, and then the rest of it has been carried on by different authors. So go ahead, give it a read. This is overall a good series. The only issue is, which I have spoken about multiple times before, when books are translated from the original language to English, they lose a lot of their essence, which is exactly what happened here. The story became longer, I think, but it has become definitely a lot of the essence has been lost. So I'm assuming if the book was written in, I mean, if I was reading it in the original Swedish, it would have been different. And well, that's about it. So you subscribe to the channel. Come back next week, and we'll talk about books again, more books, and I'll tell you more about what I'm reading. Until then, you guys stick around and I will come back with more books. See you then. Bye bye.